If your money isn't working for you, it's working against you. Did you know that over 65% of Americans are still keeping their savings in an account earning less than 1% interest per year? Are you one of them? If your savings are with one of the giants, like Chase, Bank of America, or Wells Fargo, it's very likely that you're earning well under 1% and probably closer to 1% of 1% in interest per year. That's practically giving your money away. Meanwhile, there are high yield savings accounts out there right now that are delivering almost 5% interest rates. That's more than 500 times Chase today. And with interest rates hovering around 3 to 4%, any money you have sitting in a low interest savings account is just losing value every minute. But here's the good news. Today, I'm breaking down the 5 best high yield savings accounts that you should consider in 2025. And be sure to stick around to the end because I'm going to show you a pro tip that most people miss to help you maximize your savings. All right, now I want to quickly break down the criteria that I'm using to evaluate the bank accounts. The first criteria is APY, or annual percentage yield. So this is the first thing you want to check, and this is also going to be the most important. You really want to maximize this because the higher the number this is, the more money your bank pays you. The second criteria is fees. Here's a shocking stat for you all. Americans paid $12.4 billion in bank fees in 2023. The best high yield savings accounts that we're going to be looking at today don't charge monthly fees, and they also have low minimum balance requirements. The third criteria is accessibility. Remember, this is your money. Your money should be easy to access whenever you need it and how you prefer to access it. So whether that's in a sleek mobile app or fast transfers, or you want somebody live that you can speak to in a banking branch, whatever that is, convenience matters in whatever form that means to you. And finally, the last criteria is FDIC insurance. This is your safety net. So this is the federal government promising that your money is protected up to $250,000. Never settle for a savings account that isn't insured. And honestly, you'll be pretty hard pressed to find one that isn't these days. But just make sure whatever you do, your bank needs to be FDIC insured. And here's a quick pro tip. It's not just about choosing the interest rate. Think about your habits. How often do you deposit money? How often do you pull money out? How do you want to access this money? Do you want an in-person branch? Do you want to speak to somebody live on the phone? Or are you okay with an online mobile-first approach? I personally value an established bank with a really great mobile-first approach with a sleek app so I can deposit checks, transfer money from account to account, whether internally or externally, because I want to be able to move my money around and access it as I'm adjusting my investment philosophies. All right, with that being said, let's dive into the top 5 banks. In at number 5, we have Capital One, the 360 Performance Savings. So really what I like Capital One for is those people who just really want one of the biggest banks out there, something that they can be really confident in. Capital One, I think, is a great option here. So they have a 3.8% APY, so pretty good. No fees, no monthly maintenance fees, nothing like that, and no minimum to open the account. So really, really strong. I think as far as accessibility and the rest of the criteria we're looking at here, they've got it all. Easy account transfers, they've got multiple accounts, mobile check deposit, a great mobile app. And really, I don't think you can go wrong, frankly, with Capital One. It's obviously not the highest yielding in the list. So let's check out number 4. Coming in at number 4, we have SoFi's high yield savings account. So their online savings account has a 4% APY. So pretty good. It's 20 basis points better than Capital One's. So already moving up. And in terms of fees and functionality of the account, very similar. So no account fees, great interest rate, as well as some pretty cool tools like this roundups feature where you can get your debit card purchases automatically rounding up and stow all that money away without even seeing it into your account. And it looks like they also have a promotion going on where, depending on what you're starting off with in terms of your deposit, you can get anywhere from a $50 to $300 cash bonus. And this tool here is really great. I love that SoFi has this on their website. And what this does is this just showing you with an initial deposit of $10,000, I'm not contributing any more money monthly, and I'm going to wait for 5 years. Just what the difference in APYs is compared to some of the other banks. So with SoFi, over 5 years, you're going to earn $2,100 in interest. If you have an account that's yielding
0.43% APY. It's just over $200. And if you go to one of these legacy giants where their fees today are literally 0.01%, you're only going to make $5 over 5 years, $1 a year. So it's pretty staggering just to see the difference just by switching banks to an account that's yielding a bit more. You can go from making $5 in 5 years to $2,100. And just some more additional information here on SoFi. Lots of great features here. SoFi is a great bank and option. And at number 3 is Barclays. So this is another major international bank, very reputable, and surprisingly pretty good interest rates right now. So they have a couple of different options here. They have a tiered savings, an online savings, and then an online CD, so certificate of deposits. And here's where their yields land today. So based on the tiered savings, obviously the more you're investing here, the more you get. So with over $250,000 or more, you're gaining, 50 basis points or 0.5% in APY versus their online savings account. Again, if you're depositing this much, there's probably other options for you that will be smarter in terms of investing. But I think this online savings is probably the one most people are going to be interested in. So sitting at 4%, still really solid. No minimum deposit to open. You can have 25 total accounts. And again, similar as the rest of the accounts on here, no fees, just a great account to have. And coming in at number 2 is Bread Financial's high yield savings account. So Bread is more of a newer up and comer relative to, Capital One or Barclays. But along with that comes a lot of great features that they're a little bit more of a, millennial or, Gen Z type marketing and bank. And that being said, still super credible, FDIC insured, of course, as all of these accounts are. And most importantly, a really strong high yield savings account APY yield of 4.4%. So again, that's one of the most important things that we're looking at so far as the bank is legitimate and aren't charging fees, which of course, no fees, no account minimums, just really great. Lots of great tools, as you can see here. Really good looking app, good mobile functionality here with Bread Financial. And finally, we come to the number 1 highest yielding savings account on this list, which is Open Bank at 4.75% APY. Now, you may not be super familiar with Open Bank. They are actually part of the Santander Group, which Santander Bank is actually primarily on the East Coast, but they are an owned subdivision of Santander Group, which originated in Spain. And part of the challenges with this high yield savings account is you're actually not eligible for it if you already have a deposit account with Santander Bank, as you can see here. But if you don't have an account, then you are good to go. And if you don't, this is a really, really great option. Easily the highest yielding account right now in early 2025.
Now that we've covered the top 5 high yield savings accounts right now, let's talk about how to maximize your savings. Once you've chosen the right account for you, you can make your money work even harder. And to do that, first, you want to automate your savings. Studies show that automating savings increases your chances of hitting financial goals by 78%. It's like paying yourself first without lifting a finger. Second is depositing windfalls. If you've got a tax refund or a bonus, any large sum of cash that's coming in at one time, remember to drop it into your high yield savings account and let that compound interest work its magic for you. So just as an example, a $5,000 deposit at 4% APY grows to over $6,000 in 5 years. That's all completely passive growth just by putting money in a bank account. And third here, make sure you take advantage of promotions. Some banks offer sign-up bonuses or higher introductory rates. Really, if the terms and the incentives align with your goals, it's an easy way to boost your savings initially right off the bat. Now, some common pitfalls to avoid. Don't forget to shop around, and don't be afraid to do it either. These rates and fees change all the time. And don't be part of that big group of Americans that are just stuck in accounts earning less than 1% APY. There's a better way, there's better banks, and it's never been easier for you to transfer money as you need to maximize your savings. And next, missing the fine print. Some accounts cap their best rates at certain balances or require a certain amount to be deposited monthly. So just remember to read the details before committing and make sure, probably even more importantly, that it's a trusted bank and an institution that you're excited to bank with. You know, a couple of basis points here and there is just not worth going with a riskier bank. And the final common pitfall, and honestly, probably the most important one on this entire list, whether a pitfall or maximizing earnings, is overusing savings accounts. This is really the biggest trap I see people falling into. Remember, high yield savings accounts are great for short-term goals and to keep your emergency funds in. But for long-term growth and for retirement, or whatever it might be, you want to invest that somewhere else. The stock market is a much better place over the long run. And actually, over the last 6 years, the stock market has averaged over a 10% return, which is more than double the best bank on the list. And remember that 10% compounds every single year. And so the difference in returns of keeping a 10% return versus a 4% return over the course of 10, 15, 20 years is exponential. So those are the top 5 savings accounts of 2025. Each one of them can help you avoid fees, fight inflation, and most importantly, grow your money faster. With inflation at 3 to 4%, leaving it in a low yield savings account is just like stuffing your money under a mattress and hoping it's gonna grow over time. It's not, and it's just gonna lose value every single year. Now it's your turn. I'd love to hear what your experience has been with high yield savings accounts and other banks. Let me know in the comments below what bank you guys use, what you like, why you like them. And if you disagree with this list, let me know. And if you found this video helpful, make sure to smash the like button and subscribe to the channel for more content just like this. And if you wanna hear 5 of my best tips for maximizing your personal finances, make sure to click this video next and check it out.